What's up? It's your boy Thaddeus Hall, 6'4" senior, shooting guard, Thomas Jefferson High School. You are now tuning into Backpack Broadcasting. We out.
Coming to you from Abraham Lincoln High School in Coney Island, Brooklyn, is Dexter Henry for Backpack Broadcasting at the site of the Lincoln Classic, where today we saw two Brooklyn PSAL AA teams square off against two non-Brooklyn teams. And it was not a good day for Brooklyn. In the first game, the top-ranked team in New York City right now, the Thomas Jefferson Orange Wave, took on St. Anthony's from New Jersey, one of the most decorated high school basketball programs in the country. In fact, they're ranked number 3 in the country, and they came into this game with a 53-game winning streak. Well, they made it 54 with a 71-60 victory over Jefferson. And this game was a very close one early on. In the first quarter, it was very tight. Second quarter, the same thing, but there was a fight in the second quarter. Well, not really a fight, I should say more of an altercation between a parent of one of the Thomas Jefferson players and Jefferson head coach Lawrence Pollard. Apparently, the parent was not happy with the playing time his son was receiving and also the way Pollard was talking to his son, and that kind of led to an argument, altercation. There was a halt in play in the game, and I think that really took Jefferson out of its game. Following that interruption in the second quarter, St. Anthony's went on an 11-1 run to close out the first half, and they never looked back from there. They led by 13 at halftime. They kept the momentum going in the second half. They were able to get many shots inside and outside. They had 5 players in double figures, led by Kyle Anderson's 13. And after the game, I had a chance to talk to Kyle Anderson and his head coach about the big win for St. Anthony's and how they kept their winning streak alive.
I don't think they were intimidated at us by all. I mean, I don't think a lot of teams are. You know, we get every team's best night in and night out. Whatever game we play, you know, their team, the other team wants to play their best against us.
We are absolutely not trying to win the national championships. We are not trying to go undefeated. We're just trying to get better every day. When we do that, it takes a lot of pressure off all of us. I don't feel any pressure at all, except to coach every game, make these kids get better. Their responsibility every day is to please me, and I'm demanding. So if they can please me, they had a good day.
So St. Anthony stays hot with the victory over Thomas Jefferson, and in the second game, Abraham Lincoln Rail Splitters took on the Ravens of St. Raymonds. And this was a very interesting matchup. However, the Ravens came out on top in what may be a bit of a shocker for most people with a 55-51 victory. Now you look at that score and you might say, well, this is a disappointing loss for Lincoln. Lincoln known as one of the top teams in the city. St. Ray's coming off a loss to Cardinal Hayes this past weekend. But you have to look at the fact that Lincoln was without 2 of their best players. Deshaun Suber still out with a foot injury, and Isaiah Whitehead was out with an ankle injury. So that definitely hurt the Lincoln Rail Splitters in this game. But it was a close contest in the first half. Ethan Telfair led the way in the first half, had Lincoln up at halftime. He had 12 points, but was quiet in the second half, only 0 points. And Lincoln really struggled in the second half to get their shot going. But the story for the Ravens was Shane Rector. You know, he's kind of the X factor on this team, looked upon as the third options. The top 2 options on this team did not do a good job in this game. They were not able to get the offense going, but Rector came up big, 22 points in this contest, and he was huge for the Ravens down the stretch, especially in the fourth quarter, as the Ravens got a big victory over the Lincoln Rail Splitters.
Yeah, you know, it's always great to get a good win after a tough loss. So, you know, we lost that, we came out hungry, and we didn't want to lose this game, so we gave it everything we had.
It's funny because his recruitment is starting to be picked up. A lot of Biggie schools have been coming in and watching him. I think he played hurt the first half of the year with a bad ankle, but now he's got his bounce back, so he got a nice dunk. He's athletic, and he can do it all. He can score, he can jump, he can play defense, make some nice plays. So we need him to get going. I mean, he's a big part of our success, and if he's playing well, we're going to be tough to beat.
So an interesting day here at the Lincoln Classic. Brooklyn teams didn't do so well, but in talking to all these teams at the end of the game, a lot of these teams talked about how these games were important in this time between the PSAL and the Catholic League playoffs coming up. So a lot of teams want to play higher level competition. They want to see how they can play, get their teams tougher before the playoffs comes up, which is going to be very intense, very tough, no matter what league you play in. So for St. Anthony's, whether it's for Jefferson, whether it's for St. Ray's or Lincoln, these teams are looking to build upon things as the playoffs roll around. As usual, folks, please stay tuned to backpackbroadcasting.com for all your latest high school sports news, videos, quotes from players, taking you inside the game and let you know what the experience like is here at these games. We will have playoff coverage coming up in the next couple of weeks, so be sure to stay tuned for that. As usual, you can always follow me on Twitter @BagBroadcaster. Well, that's it from here in Coney Island, Brooklyn, at Abraham Lincoln High School. It's Dexter Henry for Backpack Broadcasting, signing off.
Come on.